I've heard that pansy flowers are edible, and honestly, I have thousands in my yard, and I have for many years, but I've never tried eating them. So I'm going to do it for you guys. For the first time ever, I'm going to sample a pansy flower, and I'll let you know what it tastes like. Welcome to Garden Tour Saturday. My name is Lisa, and this is Growing on Vancouver Island. Today's garden tour is hosted by the one and only Grandma Sandy. She puts on this collaboration every Saturday, and joining her, we have myself, Miss Annalie Wren from Annalie's Cupboard, Patricia N. Cube, and Susie Surefoot. Oh my gosh, I'm still saying that wrong. I'm so sorry, Susie. My pronunciation is terrible. Go check out those lovely ladies. The hashtag for this garden collaboration is Garden Tour Saturday 2023. Go check out all these lovely channels and let's get to the tour. On a side note, it is currently, I think it's about 7 p.m. and I'm being eaten alive by mosquitoes. I swear it's my blood type. There is something in my blood that these mosquito bugs go nutty for. Here we are approaching what I like to call the cottage garden, and I see my lovely shadow. I guess it's the time of day. Probably could have filmed a little later. Anyhow, so this is a mixture of edible and non-edible plants, flowers, you name it, it's in here. This is a very experimental flower bed cottage garden. The lovely silver foliage right here, this is called Dusty Miller. In many areas it is an annual, and it used to be an annual on Vancouver Island, but in the recent years it's become a perennial. In most gardens it does survive the winter. We are zone 7 to 8 on central Vancouver Island. And I have Dusty Miller going all along the border here. Coming a little further back, these guys right here, these lovely flowers, perennials, these are oriental poppies. I did a video early in my YouTube days. I did a video about these plants, how to divide oriental poppies. It ended up being fairly popular, and let me tell you, I almost did not post that video. There's a interesting story behind that, which I will probably tell you guys one day. But anyways, I did post the video, and these are the flowers. I'm going to show you all of the ones that I put in this flower bed from those divisions. So that was one big clump of perennial oriental poppies that I divided, and I divided it, I want to say maybe 5 or 10 clumps I ended up with. So here is one plant, or one clump that I planted. Here is a second one. And we've got a third one, a fourth one, a fifth one. There are also a few oriental poppies from that division in my front rock garden bed, and we will take a look at those on another tour. But for today, those are 5 of my divided clumps, and I will show you probably in about a week or 2 when they start blooming what they look like. So surrounding some of the oriental poppies, we have Grace Ward, this lovely, beautiful blue evergreen ground cover. Just love those electric blue flowers. There are some Shasta daisies that self-seeded in here, probably from my rock garden. Coming this way, this is my coconut ice peach tree, which unfortunately is suffering from the dreaded peach leaf curl that I had last year. The good news is it's only half of the tree this year. Last year, it's less than half the tree. Last year, it affected pretty much the whole tree, the peach leaf curl, and this year, I do think the pruning strategy worked, and a lot of the tree is unaffected by the peach leaf curl. can see, there are lots of healthy leaves here. Here. Basically, the tree that is most under the overhang, which is kind of more in this direction, has the least amount of peach leaf curl on it. Even better news is there are a lot of peaches on this tree this year. I showed it earlier when it was blooming. There were a lot of flowers, but this is one branch. One small branch on the peach tree has 6 peaches. And just further over, we've got 3 more here. And going up the tree, various areas, there's more peaches here, and there's one tree at the top that I counted about more than 10 on one small branch, so I think, fingers crossed, we might get a few more peaches this year than last season. Swinging down from the peach tree, we have a few foxgloves that are just about to start blooming. I'll do an update probably next Saturday or sometime before then. We'll see how the flowers are looking and see if they're open so I can show you what they look like. Got some lilies coming, not about to bloom. They're still a ways away, but they're growing well. And these hostas are the smallest they have ever been. This is usually one massive hosta plant, and somehow they broke into 2, and I didn't do that, not that I'm aware of, but they're really tiny this year. Right here, these guys are very tall snapdragons that are about to start blooming any time now. Right here, these are English daisies that are very late to bloom. They should have bloomed in about early April or even March, and they're blooming in end of May, which is kind of crazy. And beside it, this absolutely gorgeous flower, which looks like a burgundy rose, my favorite, is a ranunculus. I cannot believe it came back. These are supposed to be annuals in our area, and this guy came back. This beautiful flower is blooming once again, and I am so grateful. Coming up in this direction in the cottage garden, we've got a bunch of other stuff going on in here. This plant, I'm sure was from a flower mix. I put a mixed seed package of, I think, cut flowers in here. I have no idea what it is. I am so looking forward to finding out what kind of flowers it has. If you think you know what this plant is right here, let me know in the comments because I cannot wait to find out. I'm so excited to see what it is. Beside it, we have some lovely dark velvety purple pansies. So let's see which one we should try sampling. I'm going to go for this one. It looks so lush, beautiful, healthy looking. Pains me to pick it, but here we go. This beautiful flower, we're gonna see what you taste like. So here we go. I've got my pansy. Oh my god, look who just joined in. Like you can't even see. I've heard that pansy flowers are edible, and honestly, I have thousands in my yard, and I have for many years, but I've never tried eating them. So I'm going to do it for you guys. For the first time ever, I'm going to sample a pansy flower, and I'll let you know what it tastes like. I'm a little nervous. I've eaten nasturtium flowers before, and they're delicious. I haven't actually tried squash, but this is my first time trying a pansy, so let's see how it goes. So here it is. Here is the pansy I am going to sample. I have literally never eaten a pansy flower in my life. A little bit nervous. I have a feeling it's going to taste very florally, flowery, but let's see. So, should I put the whole thing in my mouth or just go for an individual petal? I'm not really sure. I think I'm just going to go for it. Very interesting flavor. Holy. I don't even know how to describe it. Whoa, that was a unique culinary experience. I don't know if I'd say it's delicious. It definitely has a unique flavor. I would say nasturtiums are better, definitely better. I can't even place what it tastes like. It doesn't really taste florally. It almost has I can't compare it. It tastes like a different green, and I can't think of what it is right now, but ooh, is it ever unique? It's not bad, but I don't think I would eat them regularly. Beautiful to look at and would be gorgeous on a cake, but I don't personally recommend eating pansies, even though they are edible. They're not delicious. So, continuing on our cottage garden tour, we have some alyssum blooming right beside my mystery plant or flower. There's a small rose, which I'm growing from, I think, a cutting. I do not remember what variety this is. We will find out. We have some lavender, which I transplanted from the front garden, the front driveway garden before the makeover. It's actually doing really well back here, so I should have done that sooner. There's another rose cutting growing. This I have all over, and I believe it is some kind of oregano of some kind that's seeded literally all over my garden, front yard and backyard. You can see lavender here. This lavender is doing really well. Then we've got some lovely chives blooming. And these are liatris right here. There could be some lovely purple flowers. My bell pepper plant, which is looking slightly sad, not sure why. A couple more bell pepper plants here. These 3 tall shrubs are boxwoods that have been heavily pruned to cylinder-like shapes. And all of this shrubbery, not even shrubbery, greenery here, it goes all the way around. This is all oregano. Gets lovely purple airy flowers that are very whimsical. It's going to be lovely with the other chives and the other purples on the border. And back here, this is my first ever nectarine tree. I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. You can see I'm getting welts. I think I have quite a few of them. I'm literally being eaten alive this evening. So, here is that tree, which I suspected was going to sprout from right down here, and it might still, but no action yet. It's still very rooted in. Can't get it out. So I think it's alive. It's just really slow to grow. And I did plant butternut squash beside my nectarine tree. And we have one little baby sprout of the butternut squash. And I have a bunch of these little flowery fern-like foliage in here. And I believe these are yarrow that I planted from seed. I've got a few of them in this border. Cannot wait for those to bloom. There's some more here. And these guys are about to bloom. More Shasta daisies that are blooming. It's starting to come to life, this border. I cannot wait to see it in a week or two from now. There's some foxgloves over here by the hose reel. These cedars here, these are emerald cedars. And just one more look at the overall picture. That bin is for the supervisor. You can use your imagination what it is for. Thank you so much for watching my little garden tour. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe so you don't miss more similar tours in the future. And wishing you some mosquito-free summer sunny weather. Have a good night.